Okay, so my Bluetooth decided to connect and I ruined that little intro, but as I was saying, we're gonna go grab some tools out of the garage of the apartment and run over to my shop to show you all a surprise. Now, if you keep up to the reels, you might know what the surprise already is, but, man, sorry that this cold weather, my nose is running, but grab some tools, go to the shop, trying to get back on track, and show you all the surprise. But again, it's not really much of a surprise if you keep up with my other social medias. But we're gonna go check this thing out and go over it with you all and talk about it, and I'll go from there. So I'm gonna quit talking. Let's get downstairs and grab that and head over to the shop. Ooh, okay, I gotta open this. Can't imagine what this thing's for. Check this out. Ooh. Oh, yes, sir. And it should already have the brackets. Yes. Wait, I think, maybe. Can't tell. Yes, sir. Oh, look at that. Ooh-wee. Man, hand, I can't imagine what this thing's for. Oh, man. Like I said, too much to come, guys. Oh man, too much to come. So much to come for the channel. That still sounds terrible. But I recorded a video, I never showed you all. But we already got something in here. And what the, turn off. Or if you kept up with the other videos, okay, I don't know, I'm just bouncing all around. But saw the seat in there already. I have a video that I haven't posted, but I'm gonna probably make another one and I'll post it eventually about putting seats in this thing, because we got some really cheap brackets that actually work. This thing's held up pretty well, and I'll have to share that here soon, but that'll come later time. That's not for this video. But again, just if you haven't already, press the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, because we got so much. Just this year, 2023, it's gonna be crazy, and I'm super excited. So I'm not going to talk about that right now because that's for later videos. But again, let's go ahead and grab the tools and we'll get going. Should be all some of these. Okay. All right, we'll catch y'all at the shop here in a second. Man, I'm sorry for this terrible video quality, but besides the point, I'm just excited. Let me show y'all. Let's get there. I know this is getting boring, but I'll stop talking. Okay, see y'all in a second. All right, well, we're in the dark and here she is, sir. So again, first time on YouTube. I'll show y'all some clips now of me getting it. There she is. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go inside and see what's popping. What's good, yo? You already know, Reckless Garage out here. No, just kidding. Out here, yes sir, yes sir.
Time for a 350.
Yes sir.
350 build.
350 build for sure. And Mark's here.
What's up, bro?
What up, homie?
How you doing?
Yo, caught me mid-grub.
Where are you grabbing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna get the key.
Yeah, go for it. So is that your tag on the back, or is that the tag that came
my
on
tag.
it? Okay,
Yeah,
bet.
I'll pop
Okay. Rip.
Hey, Brandon was jealous.
You alright? It's a little bit of work. Well, it's okay. It's okay. Taking off that strut bar too, I think it's kind of whack.
Yeah, you could paint it.
Yeah.
Like a zany color.
Oh my god.
Summer's gonna be pissed.
Oh, did she know?
No, she don't even know yet.
Oh, really? Wait, does it feel like this?
Yeah, it's I think the bump. So there's no crash bar in the rear or front. I think the bumper is just sagging really bad.
Oh.
So I'm gonna. I mean, the hood. I'm gonna probably get an OEM hood, and then probably a KBD kit or something. But for now, I'm just gonna rock it like this.
And your Nissan badge.
Yeah. Nissan badge. But yeah, fluid change. Then I'm gonna work on the brakes. Probably repaint the calipers, change that up, and then go to the rust. The rust definitely. That's.
So you were looking at diffs, you said?
Yeah, just for the VLSD thing was scaring me a little bit. I told you I looked up on Google about it. It could be as easy, like you said, the traction control, or it could be
a fuse.
Yeah, it could be fuse. It could be anything
things,
really.
Yeah.
But definitely the brakes are my biggest attention right now, just for driving it, and then yeah. Sweet. Well.
From
There
the
you go, buddy.
fields of Science Hill to
Yes,
you actually
sir.
making it happen.
You
Enjoy
know
it.
it. You know it, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
And the interior's pretty nice. Engine service soon, and those two are from apparently pulling fuses. This all works and functions. It's hard to close. You gotta kind of like angle it. Something like that. I can't do it right now with one hand. But yeah, all the pieces are intact, no cracks. Other than this little piece back there is missing, and the little Z logo up there is cracked. But she's mint, definitely. And the seat's like really far leaned back because the switch was broken, so I ordered a new one. That should be in hopefully next week. She's mint. Huh? She mint? Yes? No? Maybe? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But long story short, Spain, I don't think I actually told you the truth. Actually, what I did to the car.
Wait, what?
So I was drifting, and there was a curb, and I ran out of angle, and so I was coming in this way, and I ran out of angle, and it was wet, so I let off the gas, and me being a noob, I didn't really know how to control it and come out of the drift, snap back the other way, and I slid into the curb. So when I slid into the curb, luckily I didn't damage the wheels, the square wheels that I got.
Yeah.
But that's a whole, again, I'm just kind of shortly telling Spain because I didn't even tell him. But yeah, I just said that it kind of happened. Yeah, that's what I said, so I basically lied. But I was a little embarrassed. But it slid in, and if we go under here, it's still actually leaking. But if we look up in there, right up in there, you can see, but the oil little filter housing, it is, it ripped it halfway off. Can you all see that up in there? Yeah, there it is. So it kind of just messed up the threads. I don't know exactly, so that's why we're gonna pull it off to see. But you can see the threads there. I think it's a thread end. So my theory is, if we can do this, we take off this OEM, I know, I'm sorry it's tight, but we take off the OEM one because this has an aftermarket Mishimoto oil. Oh, that's why I was zoomed in. Has an aftermarket oil cooler already. So what they did is they stacked the plates. They stacked the OEM one and the aftermarket one. So we're going to take off the OEM one and we're going to see if we can thread the aftermarket one on. And in theory, if that thread's on, we should be able to get oil pressure again. Because what happened, I bonked it, and it wasn't that hard of a bonk. I was doing like 10 miles, slid in, didn't really do any damage, really didn't at all. But start driving, and I'm like freaking out because it's the first time it's ever happened to me. And I start hearing a little tick noise. I'm like, what is that? That's terrifying. I look up at my oil pressure gauge, zippo, like nothing at all. So I had no oil pressure. I ran into a spot real quick, cut it off as I was driving in there, and this thing's been sitting ever since. So we'll get back to the garage here in a little bit, and I'll talk to you all more about this car and the plans for it. This actually was bought before the Corvette, so yeah, that says much. And I did mention I attended my first drift event with this. Open diff, all stock pretty much, other than like an intake and this. But yeah, so let's go ahead, see if we can fix this, or see, you know, if more of the problem. I'm really thinking maybe if this doesn't fix it, don't want to get my hopes up, I'm gonna have to get a upper oil pan, which looks like it's a pain in the ass to do in here. I've seen where people do it pulling the lower subframe, but I'd rather just pull the engine, clean it up, and go down that rabbit hole of making it look nice. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I just want to get this thing running to have as a backup seat time car. I don't want to jinx anything, but you know, hint hint, backup seat car, if that makes seat time car, if that makes sense for drifting. So yeah, let's just get this thing jacked up and see if we can figure something out. Well, I did not know this. Looks like we're gonna lose all the coolant, and I'm making a big mess, and I have to clean up a lot of stuff. Okay, so I really thought these lines were for oil passing. Is it not gonna stop? Stop! Oh no! Alright, well, it looks like we're just gonna lose all of our coolant. Yeah, and you see right there, look at that. Look at that chunk. That, oh, man. It literally ripped the other side of the damn block. Look at that. That's what broke off, somehow. Somehow, the threads decided to rip out of the upper oil pan. Of course. Okay, guys, so we got a little update. I kind of have some hope for at least figuring out if this thing has spun a bearing or not. But if we go under here, you can see that we do have this mounted. However, you can see there's still a gap. So this thing's not completely flush, but I don't think it is fully completely tight. But all I have right now is my channel locks. I don't have my big sockets with me, so I don't want to try to mar that up too much. I already took it a little bit and did it, but yeah, so we do have some hope there. See if we can tighten that down enough and see if we can have the sandwich plate, the sandwich plate for the oil filter housing thingamajigger. We'll see if that will thread on there, because when I threaded this one too, our other issue was this would not thread on all the way, which is kind of weird because you think this would thread on, correct? Because the threads just go in there and there is plenty of space. So it got a little tight there, which I think it's because my dumbass already took channel locks, and it doesn't look like it's moored up down there. So I think we're good, but we just got to figure that out. So maybe it's because the bolt sticks out too much. That would mean we need a oil filter that somehow reset, like, so it says the cup, the inside, it needs to recess out more because of that, but I don't think that would interfere. It should work. So we're gonna hold that just as a test fitter. But you see it's completely dark outside. It's cold. Maybe tomorrow it might warm up a little bit and we'll have more daylight, so we don't have to have flashlights everywhere. So we're gonna put this on hold until tomorrow and see if we can get this fixed and figured out. And then I can give my proper, I can show my proper showcase of this car that I got that has not been running for like, what, 3 months now? And I had it for like a month. All right, well, I'll see you all in the morning. Alrighty, guys, now we are back 3 days later. Finally got some of the stuff to fix this finally. Once we get this all wrapped up, I'll explain this more, and as long as it's not broke, knock on wood. We're gonna give a little knock because I don't want to jinx anything yet. But let's go ahead and assemble this back together. We're gonna throw some Loctite on the oil cooler filter thing, and of course, I forgot a filter, so I gotta go get a new filter real quick. We got some nice stuff. One of my buddies over at O'Reilly's, he's the store owner there, and he really said this stuff works great. So we're gonna try this oil stabilizer. Keep that engine alive. So this is like a quart that replaces the engine from the original oil. So I'll put 4 quarts of oil, a regular 5W30, which is in the truck right now, and then we'll put another quart of this, which equals up to 5 quarts. We'll probably put a half a quart in there as well of regular oil again to make it 5.5, just in case, because this thing is fully dunzo. There's no oil in it probably, so even the oil cooler that probably takes up more oil as well. So we'll throw another half quart in there and tidy this thing up, fill up the tires, and start her up. Got 2 little 1/2-inch fittings. If y'all are curious what that is, it is a 1/2 inch. Alrighty guys, well, got the Loctite on the oil filter housing for the external oil cooler. Got the new filter on, so let's go ahead, fill up this oil, and then give her a start and see if it runs clean or not. So let's get to that. Alrighty guys, so just to make sure if this does run fine, my buddy recommended this Lucas Oil Stabilizer. Apparently, if you let your car sit for a while, it's like a tackier oil, and it sits on all the components. So on you know, cold starts, or not cold starts, but you know, when you haven't started your car in a while, apparently it helps it out, and you know, it keeps those pieces, ouch, those you know, like your cams and everything, all those all good, so you're not dry starting the car. So let's go ahead, and this should just be 1 quart, I think it is. Yeah, 1 quart. So we're gonna pour all this in here. I don't know if I should put all this in here. You told me to put a quart. So go ahead and talk shit in the comments if you want. But he said he does this in his 240, puts a quart, replaces a quart. So, whoa. It's definitely sticky. It's like pancake syrup. Look at that. Dude, it's literally so, oh my God. Alright guys, so first fuse, top left, is the engine control INJ, which I'm guessing is injectors. Got that unplugged. This thing's gonna sit up here, and we're gonna try turning this thing over, and hopefully it doesn't start, so we can at least get it to cycle. See, it starts. No ticks. It was terrifying. I wish I got it on video, but when I hit that, I heard the ticking. It was very subtle. It wasn't really loud yet. So I just shut it off and towed it here, and looks like we're good. Alrighty. Last and final day in this shop for probably a little bit, but you can see, got some daylight. And now obviously, and it's ugly glory. Well, I shouldn't say ugly, but you know, it's a 350. It's nothing too crazy. But to actually show this thing off to y'all, to get these bunk ass wheels off that are mismatched and ugly, we're gonna take 2 of the wheels off the rear of the Subaru, and we're gonna see if stock 350 wheels will fit on the back, so we can have some neat wheels in the front, because after all, it's a drift car. So let's go ahead and get this process out of the way, take these off, throw these suckers on the front, and then let's go on a little drive, and then we'll do a little B-roll action with this car. So let's get to it. Still brand new, man. Things are fresh, man, brand new. Sheesh, that might be a little too close. I'll see that up in there. All right, well, I just showed you all that little swap. So we're gonna go ahead and swap the other one. We're gonna try dropping this to see if it's in the way or not. And then we might throw in the front bumper because it's kind of ugly right now. So let's get to that. And no words. All right, I need to stop this. Let's go ahead and finish this. Let's go ahead and drop it on the ground. Let her warm up, make sure everything's good. I'm gonna check the coolant one more time. And then we'll go on a cruise, and we'll once we get to the spot, we'll talk about this for a little bit. Okay, it's pretty cold out, so I'm gonna keep this short, sweet, and simple. But real quick, I want to say, I know this is a really long video. If you're watching it to this point right now, I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me. Thank you for watching this 20-some minute long video, or even longer. I don't think it's gonna be that long, but I'm sure if you haven't already, press the subscribe button, bell notification, and comment on this hunk of junk. I'm just kidding. It's a good car. It's treated me well so far, for the most part. But yeah. Comment anything about this thing. If you saw what I was doing, did you think it's gonna blow up what I did? Do you think? I think it'll be fine. Honestly, it's been running fine. I drove it like 15 minutes away with no tools to here, so hopefully I don't get stranded. But besides the point, let's talk about the car. Less about just running my mouth. So it's an 03 350Z. As you can tell, it's the first generation model, so it is a DE. So it's known for oil consumption and things like that, and then blowing up, but that's because of the oil consumption and people not checking their oil. So I check it, regular basis when I drive this thing. Always check your oil. It's very simple. Just pull out the dipstick, wipe it off, put it back in there, wiggle it around, check it. If you're low, it means you need oil, or you're probably gonna break your car. Kind of like what I did, because I ran out of oil and the car was ticking. But yeah, pretty much basics. I'm gonna walk you around the car again. You've probably already seen it, but I got the bumper back on it, put some zip ties, and it's holding up just fine. I was like doing 80 on the interstate, so let's go ahead and do a little 360 pano. So again, I know mixed matched wheels, but it is a drift car. But I'm just doing what I can do to get it up and running again, just to drive it around for a bit. But the body is relatively straight. You could say, I mean, it is junked up a little bit. The front bumper, again, just zip ties. You see one hanging out. I couldn't find any cutters, so I just kind of left it there just to get it here and finish this video. But the bumper clear coat is disgusting. Someone oversprayed the crap out of it. It's all chewed up, so we're probably gonna do a new front bumper. Missing the emblem. The body panels are kind of straight. There's a few dimples here and there. Don't know what that is. You can see that yet right there. But everything's intact. Side skirts are nice for the most part. Everything's good. Pinch welds are good. I don't know if you can see them down there. They're okay. The ones I did yesterday on the other side were okay. So it's not perfect. but for the price, you can't complain. The only concerns and complaints are the passenger quarter panel. This little piece of rust right here, it's bubbling, so hopefully we can clean that up. Along with this is the main culprit. Kind of scary. Don't know how far this is gonna go back. Figured cutting this, and I really do like the stock body styles of these cars. They're really nice, but again, with that, I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Hopefully we can cut it out, maybe do some Bondo with, you know, like, not Bondo, but fiberglass resin, stuff, kind of shape it up. Then Bondo it, shape it, make it look right, and then probably wrap the car. I have some wrap sitting around at my house, so why not? It's pretty clean for what it is. Rear bumper is good. Whoever put this on here was a complete idiot. They decided to just self-tap like 10 rusty screws in there. This needs to go. You know, some of the trim, again, this isn't going to be a show car, it's just a drift car, but I love to make my cars, you know, as best as I can, not make them look disgusting. But it does have an ISR exhaust, muffler, you could say. Mid pipe is aftermarket as well, the X pipe I think it is, or whatever is on these cars, I don't even remember. I have changed the brakes. I don't know if I'm gonna even post a video about that, but I put new calipers. They were sticking really bad. The front driver's side, no, front passenger. Yeah, front passenger was like, it was like pretty much seized, and I was driving on it and the wheel would just want to yank to the right. It was pretty bad. Oh, and one more thing. This part right here, but that looks like just surface rust. Hopefully it looks pretty bad. That's pretty bent in. But, oh, whoa, I heard something. Let's see if we can hear that again. Maybe it's just the dirt falling. But again, it's not a perfect car, but what do you expect nowadays in age? Everything's going to shit. Everyone is just thrashing these cars completely and destroying them. But there's still a good bit of nice ones out there, so you can go pick yourself up one, you know, for a decent price. Nothing too crazy. Well, let me phrase that. There are some crazy prices for these cars, especially if they're straight, like they're perfect, but none of them are perfect anymore. I'm sure there are, but for the most part, most of them, you know, it's what, a 20-year-old car now, so they're gonna have their imperfections. But besides that, yeah, there she is. I finally wanted to, let's talk about the main function of this car, what it's used for. So I bought this before the Corvette. I actually bought this from my buddy from the beginning. If you saw him, Kalen Peterson, shout out to my boy. Known him since high school. We were football buddies and been friends ever since. But bought this from him because he picked up a sweet 2-for-1 price deal. He got a 350, which was this one, and a 280. And I kind of talked him into it and just asked him and begged him, gave him a price, and he went with it. So, and being a real homie, he helped me out, hooked me up on the price, relatively cheap, not too crazy cheap, but a good deal. It's okay for a DE. But we purposely bought this car to be a drift car. This was before I thought about the Corvette or even having it. I had the black truck and I never thought, but it kind of just fell in line. It was a perfect trade, and I was like, they seem like perfect drift cars. I've seen a lot of information on the internet about them, and they're simple and cool, and they got an LS in them. But this car, the main purpose was, again, to be my main drift car or seat time car, because I still have the 240. But at the moment, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this car. I think I would like to have it as a backup seat time car, but again, I don't need basically 3 drift cars with my priorities right now and what's going on. So I really don't know what to do with this. Either sell it, build it, you know, as I would prefer to keep it a drift car. I wouldn't like to do like a track car or a show car. Okay, don't get me wrong, track cars for Z's are really cool. Like they're sick. Showtime cars, like, there's so many show Z's. Don't get me wrong, they're really cool, but there are so many. Like wide body, Baggett, crazy ass color, crazy wheels, that's it. You got a show Z and you're gonna make it in every show. Which, again, don't get me wrong, I have friends that have 350s, 370s. They're sick. I love them, man. They're really cool. But with show cars, they're kind of like BRZs. They're overrated for shows, which they're cool, but there's a lot of them, and you can definitely make them unique. But so that's where it came down to a drift car. I'm not really a drag strip kind of guy. That would be cool to do that, but I don't have all the money to dump into that. Turbo kits for these things are ridiculous. They're like $5 grand. That's so much for a turbo kit. But yeah, so that's why I came to the conclusion to make it a drift car. But again, with the use of it right now, already having the Corvette as a seat time car, and it's good on power. The 240, don't know what route I'm gonna take. Obviously it's turboed. I haven't, you guys don't even know that yet. So I gotta give y'all some updates soon on that. But I really thought these things, you know, for the horsepower they're not extremely high. They're like what, 200 and some to the wheel, like 240, I don't know, 230, 250 maybe, who knows. And this thing's cool, and I drifted it once, but I would like to experience a more low horsepower drift car before I just stick with the Corvette. Again, I drifted it once with an open diff, and I could link partial of the track if you saw from the video, but not much. So getting the diff welded, getting a handbrake, and just maintenance, I think this thing would be an absolute ripper. Everyone talks how great they are. So I don't know, I would love to keep it simple and clean and basic, just like the Corvette. So I don't know. So yeah, I really don't know what to do with it. So if you do have any suggestions, drop in the comments below and let me know what I should do, because I'm really torn on selling it. I don't want to, but give me some extra money for the Corvette, and just go into events in general. So I'm not sure. So leave in the comments below, let me know what you think. And yeah, I guess we'll do some donuts and then head on out. So see you on the next one. Peace. Really sucks. So we're gonna finish it there. Fresh tires, already squealing. So we'll catch you on the next one.